All
Okay.
right. Speaking of crises
Yeah.
between us, we now have an in-home crisis. We suddenly have a mold problem. I didn't know anything
Good,
about
tell ya.
mold. I've never had a mold
I
problem.
never had a mold problem either.
Okay. And we
I mean, I've lived in apartments all my life. I probably have had mold, but I didn't know.
Probably have. But we bought this place in the pandemic, 2020, so we've been here 5-ish years.
Is it that long?
I think so.
I don't know. It seems like
No,
it was yesterday.
in the throes of the pandemic.
Yeah, I broke my foot that
Yeah,
time.
you did.
Yeah, it was
terrible.
Yeah, that was bad.
Did I ever hear about that?
Yeah, hobbling with a brace on my foot,
But
putting together
she did
new
a good
place.
job. We had to move very quickly because we were actually leasing a place, and
People wanted it back.
They wanted to
and
move back in all of a sudden, and we're like, uh-oh. So we love this complex, so we hurried.
The building next to us had a place open, which was this place, and some older woman lived here for 30 years. So we moved in, and she had a bar in the front when you walk in. There's a bar.
We're not drinkers,
we
so
don't
we
drink.
didn't need the bar,
So
but
we
it's
put the bar.
beautiful.
Yeah, it's a nice bar.
It looks nice.
But then there was a little
mirrors.
refrigerator underneath the bar next to a sink. And I remember we moved in here, and I had, we cleaned the whole place, and the refrigerator was fine. And then from that day on, I never opened the refrigerator
we never
again
because we never used it.
I don't keep anything in it.
And somehow
until
it
we
molded.
realized 4 months ago, there was mold in that refrigerator. And then my job was to get it out.
But somehow the refrigerator, the little one, expanded.
Well, that's what we found out, because what happened was
recently popped a jar.
I called 1-800-JUNK to take it away, and the two guys came, and they were big guys, and they came, and it's a little college refrigerator. It's like a small, keep wine in it or something, and they could not pull it out. And the guy's like, I think it's bolted down. I'm like, that sounds weird. A refrigerator's bolted down. So then finally I called our electrician, who's a great guy, and he's a big guy. And I called him, I said, hey, can you come over and take the refrigerator away? He's like, yeah, I'll be there. Don't worry about it. As he said to us, how did I think 15 minutes was going to turn into 2 hours?
Yep.
He said it expanded over the time, and he could not get it out. And then finally, Skip helped him pull it out.
Did.
And he had to cut the side of the wall to try to get the refrigerator out. And then it's a narrow little passageway behind the bar, and they tried to put it on a dolly to pull it out, and they had to unplug it, and it wouldn't get past the doorknobs. So then Mark had to take his screwdriver electric to undo the doorknobs, and before we could get it out, then he had to take the door off of the refrigerator. So it was like it was going bad.
And meanwhile, the mold spilled out.
Well, it was water. It was just refrigerator water.
Spilled out on the carpet.
Onto the carpet in front of the...
could be sort of really bad
moldy.
mold.
Yeah.
And so that's on the carpet. We got the refrigerator out. 1-800-JUNK did come back the next day and took it away.
Right. And then I called a mold guy, and right now we're waiting for the mold results. And he said it could be moderate, but then I called another mold guy who does the actual cleanup of the mold. This is all I've learned because I knew nothing about mold. And he said, do yourself a favor right now, put a plastic or garbage bags, tape it so it just keeps it contained. So that's what I did. So that's how we're living. So we haven't really been spending a lot of time in the living room, but I'm waiting to hear back from the guy.
Okay. So she became Patty Panic during the pandemic because it was like everybody's got to wear a mask every second.
I never had COVID during the whole pandemic. I was the only one that did not get COVID.
Until you finally did.
Last August,
yeah.
When I had two guys come in to clean the carpet, and I gave them masks. And then when I went to let them out of the door, they didn't have their masks on. And then 2 days later, I got sick. And I know I got sick from them. That was it. But the whole 3 years, whatever it was, I never got sick. Knock wood. So now...
Okay, I
have all the masks. I've got tons of masks.
The prospect of having mold, what do you call it? Spores, yeah, wafting through the air.
Well, I'm going to...
It's not that far from where
right now we're actually being
within
heroes here.
striking distance.
Yes.
Yep.
And Tyler too.
Okay, and we haven't gotten the report back. The guy said, and I trust him, he said it's like a 3 on a scale of 10 in lethal.
Yeah, they say black mold is worse. This was greenish mold. Okay. And I mean, Mark, our electrician, he does big houses out here, and he said he had mold in his house where they had to knock down the walls and they had to move out for a while. So anyway, but it's not fun.
It's not fun. And she does tend to overreact, but
Oh, yes.
sometimes in a
Well, I
life-saving
overreact.
way.
When I overreact, you benefit from it because you
Sometimes.
sometimes are ignorance is bliss, and so you just don't even think about things. And I'll say, "Hey, I did this and blah 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 blah," and it saves our life. And then you go, "Oh yeah, thank you."
Okay, but
So
she didn't want me to run on the treadmill, which is not that far from the mold, without a mask on. And if
right,
you've ever tried to run with a mask on, it won't
I've been
work.
using a mask every day.
Okay, but I go hard. You walk, I run.
Well,
I
then you
can't
should walk.
breathe.
I
I'm
know,
going to
but what's
gag.
better?
I'm going to fall off the
Is
treadmill
it
with the
better to
mask on.
inhale mold, or is it better to walk and still do your workout but have a mask on?
Well, I gave it up and I ran
When
for
I
an
see you
hour with no
glowing,
mask. And I'll glow. Yeah,
like the
right. I'm the human 3 Mile Island right now,
yes.
right?
God forbid, knock
Yeah,
wood.
okay.
Anyway, so that's our
Maybe.
mold story.
I don't know.